Hello? All right. So there's math in the last one, the way you can at least see it digitally, right? Cross multiply, it makes a new proportion, cross multiply again, and we get our answer 9/10,000ths. So here we are on this one. We started with a number sense method. We took this decimal place and we moved it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 places to the right. We did that with all of them now. So now we have numbers, right? Like 54, 87, 110, 75. We go back to the problem and look to see what the proportions are. It says, it goes by, what? Right here?
Yes.
Which is x. I'm going to start over here. Over yw, right here, 75. Ux, 54, over xw, 110. So doing this was useless. It didn't even matter in the problem.
Not at all.
Not at all. Should have read the instructions first.
Yep.
Okay. So now that we have like legit numbers, cross multiply. So we got 54 times 75 should be equal to 110 times x. So asking you to multiply 54 and 75 without a calculator. This might be new to some of you guys too. It's called stack them and multiply. Have you seen this method before?
Yes.
All right, so just make sure you do it correctly. 4 times 5, carry the 2. 7 times 4, plus 2, 30. Placeholder, super importante. 5 times 5, did you?
Yeah.
5 times 5 is 25. Carry a 2 for the second problem. 5 times 7 is 35. 35 plus 2 is 37. So you math left to right, adding all your terms together. 0, 5, 0, carry the 1, 4. You get 4,050.
Oh. This hurts my brain.
I said it was 21.
Because either I did it wrong or
Yeah, Felix and Hallie go outside of the room. Big boy girl. Nice round numbers. And then we divide each side by 110. Eee, careful there.
yeah, no, don't cut the 0 off.
So, let me try and get rid of that x. So if I knock this 0 off, it's going to adjust my adjustment I made at the beginning of the problem.
Yeah, it's gives you a repeating decimal. Already tried. It does. You end up with like 36.81 and then it just continues.
Okay, so I'm going to give you guys an out here. 40, 50 divided by 110. 40, 50 divided by 110. Put a decimal there so it gives you a decimal. 368,182.
Oh,
You need to put all of it because we need to like run
So
it
we
back.
got equals 0.368,182.
I thought it was 36.
That's the answer, right? That's what x equals?
It's 36.8.
Yeah, I thought it
But
was
if you go back to the
Yeah, but you still
Yeah,
need to
you
put
put
it
it
back.
Hold on. Right? That's my answer right now for VY. Right here. I moved my decimal back 6 places. So I moved it right 6 places to start with. Now I need to move 6 places back to the left. So I need to take this number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's not right?
no, because 36. It was 36.8182.
Oh, it was.
Oh, no.
So then you move, there'd be 4 zeros.
So it was right here, so it should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's
There. That was.
so the instructions. All right, here's what you missed. You ready? I gave us an out with the calculator. We got to this point right here where it was 4,050 divided by 110. I just calculator divided it, and we got this answer, 36.81. Okay. So now that I have the answer 36.81, I moved the decimal because I originally moved it right 6 places. I'm gonna take this decimal and move it left 6 places. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So now my answer is 0.00036.8. And the instructions say round to the nearest 6 decimal places, correct? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now does number 7 make it go up or down?
Up.
Makes it up. So now my answer is 1, 2, 3, 4 zeros into 37.
And then we add them together. Form AY.
Huh?
Because we also have to find VW, so we have to add the two together.
4 zeros into 37.
So we find
So now we're trying to find.
VW.
Wait, yeah.
Yeah.
So x equals 37, but vy is 0.000037 because I have to move my decimal back. So this is the answer, x 37 right here. But I need to go back and divide it by that whatever number coefficient scale factor that we use.
Can we keep it rounded or would you put?
So this is the answer that we're using, and then you have to convert it back to this answer for the problem. Now, do we have the ability to find? We do?
Yeah, add them together.
Oh, add them together. So, sorry. I was figuring out why they had something right here. I thought they were trying to trick me. So VW, we can do 2 different things. We can add 37 and
75.
75, which gives you
I don't know.
A cool number that I have no idea.
105 plus 7 is 112.
There you go.
So if the 112 is the number I'm using, I need to move the decimal back 6 places. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That was terrible. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No.
This should be 3 zeros.
3 zeros because this one is in this valley right here. So if you add them both together, you get 0.00112. Would that have been easier with a calculator?
Yeah.
Yes.
But
Always. A little math doesn't
I don't know, that's hurting.
hurt. On the back.
Felix, can I ask you to not contribute to this, please? Because he's gone through it in algebra 2 so many times. I need you guys to help remember. Okay, there's no more triangles anymore. There's no more statements. It's just straight up cross multiply and solve. All right, impress me. So what we're doing? Anybody overwhelmed by 3 times 8? What is it?
24.
Okay, so this side equals 24. And then what about 2a plus 8 times a plus 5?
You have to like FOIL method.
Right, so that's where we're multiplying 2 expressions. 2a plus 8 times a plus 5. You can do that in your head. You can do that. How there's lots of different ways to do it. Which way do y'all want to see so I can show you?
What's it called? A foil.
First in or out or last. So 2a times a.
2a squared.
2a times 5. Plus 10a, guys. The signs are so important. 2a times positive 5 is positive 10a. Okay, that's my first and last. I go like this, whatever. This is called double distribution. 8 times a, positive 8a.
8a.
8 times 5,
40.
positive 40.
40.
Equals 24. Okay, now what?
Simplify.
Combine like terms, aka simplify. 2a squared plus 18a's.
That's weird.
Guys, this is something you did last year. I'm just making it geometric by adding it in a proportion scenario because you may or may not will be expected to do this on your test. It will be just like this, and it's just can you math? Hey, here we go, right? That's why I'm recording it. Now what?
Subtract 40 now.
I just said that on my paper.
What?
I mean,
Divide everything by 2.
Cut everything in half. Why are we doing that?
So we don't have any squares.
So we don't have any leading coefficients on our a squared. So all of this gets divided by 2. To simplify, to balance the equation, we divide both sides by 2. A squared plus 9a plus 20 equals 12.
Yay.
No yay.
Okay, cool.
We are going to subtract something. Who thinks it's a squared?
No.
Who thinks it's 9a?
I'm scared to raise my hand.
Who thinks it's 20? You're wrong.
It's a squared.
It's weird. It's the 12.
Why?
Guys, how soon you forget. Subtract 12 from both sides.
Oh, yippee.
Now it's on.
Oh, no, I that.
This game algebra
This is the one thing we like didn't get taught.
So we set one side equal to 0 so we can factor. You guys, you did this in algebra. It will haunt you in algebra 2. Welcome back to geometry. I said the second semester would get a little more complicated. This is stuff that you did in algebra 1. This is stuff that you will do in algebra 2. So if you don't do it for a year, you're going to forget. Okay, now that we have it set equal to 0, we're trying to factor that. Remember, I need two numbers that multiply to equal 8. Those same two numbers need to add together to equal 9. 1 and 8. So I have factors of a plus 1 and a plus 8 equals 0. So I factor this because 1 times 1 is 8 and 1 plus 1 is 9. Factors that multiply to equal 8, the same two factors that add together to equal 9. Now I need to solve for a. You set your factors equal to 0. Subtract 1 from both sides. Whoa.
Wait, don't you just like flip the signs?
I'm not going to say that out loud. Does flipping the signs always work? No. Okay. Then a plus 8 equals 0. Taylor, does your method work now? Subtract 8 from both sides. You get a equals negative 8. So I have two answers. You probably want to check and see if they work. Nah, you might be better. Because there's this thing called an extraneous solution where you get an answer but it doesn't work.
Yeah.
Because if you don't do it now, you're gonna kick yourself in the teeth next year. So 3 over what is -1 plus 5?
4.
Okay. 2 times -1? -2 plus 8?
Hey, look at that.
Nah, should you cross multiply?
No.
Hey, you showed us that.
I did show you that. So you can see that 24 equals 24, or that 2 times the numerator and denominator give you the same numerator and denominator. That's one of the answers. Let's check the other one. The other answer was -8. 3 over -4. Is that the same thing as, I'm sorry, 3 over -3. Is that the same thing as 2 times -8 is -16? -16 plus 8 is -8. Is that the same as -8 over -8? -8 over +8.
Yes, it is.
Yes, the -1 is the same as -1. What happened? What? Y'all done this before, right?
Yeah.
But
I don't
Slowly
think
one
we
way.
answered
For
for
1 week, like before the finals, and then it never even showed up on the finals, and we never did it again
What, talking about me or Algebra 1?
in Algebra 1.
Okay, so look, here's the thing. On the pathway that you're kind of destined to take, right, past geometry, you will see this in Algebra 2, you will see this in Pre-Cal, you will see this in Calculus. And it is my job to help you prepare for that. The other classes have been slowly doing this. I'm sure you can talk to your friends. They've been doing factoring and squaring quizzes and all that kind of stuff, factoring in for warm-ups. I chose not to do that because I wanted to focus on the geometric concepts, not the Algebra 1 stuff. Okay, so now we're getting into a scenario where this stuff is popping up as part of our questions. Okay, so instead of doing it then, now we're doing it right now. Okay, so here we are, we're in the scenario, you're gonna have to start factoring and doing all that kind of stuff. So let's go through the same process with this next question, and this will be the last one that we're gonna look at right now. So we got 3k plus 5 over k plus 3 equals 15 over 9 minus k. Splendid.
So much fun.
Yep, I'm glad you agree.
Can't you just like straight out the gate subtract 5?
No. Fractions have their own rules. So just cross multiply. It's really hard to like simplify from the get-go, because then I would ask you to theoretically divide 3k plus 5 divided by k plus 3. That would be the only way to simplify this. And can you do that? I can't. I can, but you can't. We can't right now. That's not the way to go. So here's where we are. We're just going to do the cross multiply thing. So we're looking at 15 times k plus 3. Going the other direction, it should be equal to 3k plus 5 times 9 minus k. And this is, I need you guys to be able to do this for your test. You've done it in Algebra 2, or I'm sorry, Algebra 1. Now we're just kind of sprinkling it in. Not a terrible concept. 15 times k. 15 times 3.
45.
Positive 45. Signs matter. Okay, whichever pathway you take to do this double distribution, I like to do double distribution. I'm not a big fan of first, in, or out, or last. So I just do 3k times 9.
Positive 21. Or 27.
3k times negative k.
Negative 3k squared.
Negative 3k squared. Positive 5 times 9,
Positive 9.
positive 45. Positive 5 times negative k,
Negative 5K.
negative 5k. Okay, the overarching goal here is to simplify. Who sees a problem, or what do y'all want to do now? How do you want to simplify?
Straighten out. Divided by 3.
Combine the K's on the right.
You want to what? Combine all like terms.
On the right.
Okay, look. Here's something that needs to happen in your head. When we're doing stuff like this with k squared, k, and other numbers, you need to make it equal 0. Period. Okay, you have to set one side equal to 0 so you can factor. Another layer that you probably forgot is that your leading coefficient, your k squared term, needs to be positive. So that should tell you want to take all of these numbers and move them this direction. That way this side will be 0 and this side will have a positive 3k. So we can kind of combine like terms right now. What's 27 minus 5? So I have 22k's, I have negative 3k squareds, and I have positive 45. So I need to subtract 22k's from both sides. Yeah?
Sure.
I'm trying to figure out negative 7k plus 45 equals negative 3k squared plus 45. I feel like that's not correct. But it is. Okay, now what?
Cross out the 45.
Cross out the 45s.
Move the 3 over so it's positive.
So that's what we're trying to factor, right?
What are you trying to find factors for?
I broke her. So when we factor with a leading coefficient that's bigger than 1, it is a literal mental guess and check game. You have to be able to do this mentally. There's really no better way to do it. So we have, here's what we have. I'll write it up here. We have 3k squared minus 7k plus 0. I feel like there is a mistake somewhere in this.
You don't have.
I messed up.
You're not supposed to cross out the
Something I
line.
already saw it.
Something that multiplies to get 0.
So here's what has to happen. You have to have something that multiplies to equal 0.
To add to get 0.
I feel like the novice was
I think it's
Negative 7.
Well, it's
It's gonna have to be
Negative
plus
7
0
zeros.
and negative 7 and minus 7.
Negative 7.
so 3k squared, right?
0 plus.
Negative k.
I'm pretty sure that's it.
I
Or-
did some math wrong.
0.
Yeah.
That's it, right? So you get 3k minus 7 and k as your factors. Right? These are my factors now. 3k minus 7 and k. So you have to set those equal to 0. That one's solved. K equals 0. And then you have to do it the other way. You have to add 7 to both sides. and then divide both sevens by 3. Divide both sides by 3. So you get 0 and 7/3. Then I would ask you to check your work from there. So I'm going to leave you guys with number 2 and 4. And then on the front, number 2 and 3. So you have 2 and 3 on the front, 2 and 4 on the back. I really want to check my work to see if it works. Did anybody do it? 0 works for Shizzle. That's 5 over 3 equals 5 over 9. Yes, that works. And then 7/3. Man. 7, that's 12 over 7/3, which is 9/3, which is 16/3, which is 36 over 16. Does that equal 15 over 27/3 minus 7/3 is 20/3. Over 16, 45 over 20. 36 times 20 and 45 times 16. Yes, it works. Yay. Yay, it works. Yeah. I'll let you guys use a calculator in your homework.
Okay.
If you need to use a calculator, I'll let you use it. Alright. Tomorrow we'll be doing the same thing. Practice with proportions. I'm just going to add triangles. Yes?
Yeah.
So now you're going to do corresponding sides are proportional. And we battled the proportion game all day. It should not be quite as difficult.